Hey, all you Tolkienites? Is that what we decided on last week?
Tolkienites.
Tolkienites. All right, EMoney and the old man here, and we're ready to watch episode 4 of The Rings of Power. All right, so before I get into anything, be sure to subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications, give us a thumbs up, and if you like, leave us a comment. And I'm gonna get to comments here in just a second.
Ooh, we get some?
We did.
All right.
We got comment. All right, so just to recap what happened last week, it was discovered by the Harfoots what Nori is hiding, the mysterious meteor man or giant man.
That cat was getting out of the bag sooner or later.
Mm-hmm. So the stranger is what he's being called, has elected to help Nori and her family because they are at the back of the caravan, and
which evidently is not where you want to be.
Mm-mm. And without his help, they're probably going to be left behind. Which, I mean, I thought that it sounded like they leave people behind all the time, but when he started to read the list of the dead,
we went over the list of the people that have been left behind.
Yeah,
I mean,
most of them.
A landslide wiped out one family. That's nobody's fault. Nothing they can do about it.
Right. One was eaten by wolves, the other one by bees, and different things that they really couldn't do anything about.
But it does sound like if you fall behind, you're on your own.
Yeah. So that was a little surprising about the Harfoots. Also, we saw Galadriel discovers a contingency plan by the enemy, and she found the map that shows where Mordor is going to be eventually, and it looks like. Should the Morgoth have been defeated, then they'll establish a base in that area, which is what we know eventually happens.
Well, this is one of those things about prequels.
Mm-hmm.
Here you got a plan that you can stop the enemy,
mm-hmm.
but we know ain't gonna happen.
Yep,
they're gonna fail.
Mm-hmm.
So takes a little bit of something out of the storytelling, but
a little bit,
whatever.
Yeah. There were times, if you ever watch the Clone Wars, Star Wars, there were times where it looked like Count Dooku was defeated, or he was going to be captured or killed, but that's not going to happen because he dies at the beginning of episode 3. His former apprentice Ventress, she hatches a whole plot to assassinate him after he betrays her.
All right, get off Star Wars.
Okay, but yeah, that's the thing about prequels.
This guy.
Yeah. All right, so that covers Galadriel. We didn't see Elrond and Durin during that whole episode.
You sure?
Pretty sure. We didn't touch on them at all.
See, once I've seen an episode, it just merges into the whole story for me, and I have a hard time remembering, hey, that was last episode. No, that was 2 episodes ago.
Right. And then finally, Arendir was captured by orcs, some really solid-looking orcs, by the way.
Oh, so you mean some not computer-generated?
Right, exactly. And him and his whole company, who I guess were grabbed while they were heading back west.
Home.
Yeah. They get captured, and during a failed escape attempt, pretty much their entire company is wiped out, except for Arendir. And then we see the reveal of Adar, the orcs' leader, who, based on a blurry image we see in the final...
Ain't no orc.
Yeah, he appears to be an elf. So, now we're hopefully going to see, what's up with that. All right, so there's the recap. Now, on to your comments. So, you remember last week, we, called out some of our regulars for not commenting, one of which was Mr. Egypt.
Oh, yeah, the smart guy.
Yeah. Well, boy, did Mr. Egypt respond. So.
Oh, you wrote a book?
A little bit, yeah.
Good for you, Mr. Egypt.
All right. So we were talking about, the Hobbit movies and how it was so different from Lord of the Rings and the CGI and stuff.
Right.
All right, so Mr. Egypt says, from what I remember about the Hobbit movie production, Peter Jackson came into the project very late after Guillermo del Toro exited. He worked on a very tight schedule and couldn't prepare as much as he did in the original trilogy. CGI orcs were less time-consuming and less costly than having an army of extras in full practical makeup.
From what I understand, where they're filming,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like you're going to walk out on the street and go, hey, you want to be in a movie?
Yeah.
No, people got to come to you and say, I want to be in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So not as easy to do. I get that.
It's been reported that the Hobbit movies production was a mess, and Jackson hated the experience. Okay, so I didn't know any of this. So
me neither.
So Peter Jackson wasn't planning to be a part of the project in the initial stages.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. So
see, that's why we love you, Mr. Egypt. Just a fountain of information. Thank you.
Yeah. Also, it's like if Guillermo del Toro was part of the project early on, like you would think he would have his practical effects makeup stuff lined up.
You would think.
Yeah, because that's what
that's what he do.
Yeah, Del Toro's all about that. All right, so it's nice to know that Peter had his hands tied and didn't intentionally turn the Hobbit movie into what it ended up being. Although
I still liked it.
I don't hate the Hobbit movies as much as a lot of other people do, because there's a lot of great stuff in there. The way they did Smaug, I thought was pretty damn perfect. But there was an oversaturation of CGI, mainly the orcs in the movie. All right, so Mr. Egypt continues. I love the Lord of the Rings movies, but I haven't finished reading the books yet. I know only bits and pieces about the lore, so I'm no expert in any way.
All right, you need to get on that. The old man's read those books.
He said 3 times last week. So
at least 3.
Yeah.
And like I said, you're reading the Fellowship of the Ring, the first book. Get past the chapter called the Council of Elrond, and the rest is smooth sailing.
All right, so he shares his thoughts on the show. I like the show so far. I like the visuals and the atmospheres and many of the characters, old or original. And I always like new takes that can fill the gaps the original text didn't explore fully. I hope this show will be successful in that. I'm with the theory that says the stranger is a wizard. Not sure which one yet. The close relationship with the Harfoots makes a lot of people lean more and more towards believing that he's Gandalf, but I hope not. I hope he's one of the other wizards we don't know much about. Hopefully one of the blue wizards.
Okay, I get your wanting it to be somebody new. I get that.
Yeah. Someone who we've heard about in,
don't know anything about.
Yeah, conversations, yeah. All right, so the best theories I heard about Halbrand, Galadriel's companion. Halbrand is that he either ends up being the Witch King of Angmar, the leader of the Nazgul, or he may end up becoming the King of the Dead, the leader of the ghost army that helps Aragorn in Return of the King.
Well, neither one's good, but I don't want him to be the Witch King.
Right. Well, the leader of the ghost army makes sense because we know that Isildur, the kid who keeps messing up at sailing, he's I forget his father's name. Elendil, yeah. So we know Isildur becomes king, and he's the one who gets the ring and fails to destroy it. So the story about the army of the dead, Legolas explains in Return of the King that Isildur called on the armies to help him in Gondor's hour of need, but the armies betrayed him and ran away. So Isildur cursed them to live in the mountains until they fulfill their oath. So the fact that Isildur and Halbrand are in the same place and will probably interact in the future that would make sense.
Have I told you what a nerd you are?
I just remember things, okay?
Jeez, how do you remember all that?
All right, and then finally, I have a feeling that the plan for Arondir is to be transformed into an orc. I think Tolkien mentioned that orcs are tortured and corrupted elves that we're about to see, and we're about to see that process.
Good.
I hope I'm wrong because I really like Arondir's character on the show and don't want him to go that route. Agreed. I am afraid that he is going to end up, having that process done to him that was mentioned in, I think, the Two Towers. Being a prisoner of the orc, and also Adar might be orc in the making. You know, currently an elf, as we saw in the image, but will become an orc down the road. So yeah, you know, it's possible, but I hope it doesn't go that way. All right. So thank you, Mr. Egypt. I always look forward to reading your stuff because it's very insightful. I really appreciate that.
Every time he writes a comment, we learn something.
Right. So thank you, and I hope you comment again.
Absolutely. And all you other lugs, come on.
Yeah.
Get with it.
Mm-hmm.
But at any rate, you got anything else you need to talk about?
Oh, just one last thing, backtracking. You know, imagine what the Hobbit movie could have been if Peter Jackson had taken the time to make it the way he wanted to make it. That, you know.
If ifs and buts were fruits and nuts, we'd have Christmas every day of the year.
Yeah. Just, you know, it's kind of a sad what if. Yeah. All right. So, you ready to jump into this?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Push the damn button.
Let's go.
We'll push it. Just push it real good.
Mm-hmm. Guide thy steps. Sometimes our island just needs a stretch.
Is Numenor built on a volcano?
Either that or somebody's got a serious case of the rumblings.
Or you got a dragon in here somewhere? Oh.
Oh shit. Run.
Well, I'm hoping this is a dream.
If it's not, it's going to make this island story a lot shorter than I thought.
Right?
It is a perfect day, Queen Regent.
Glad you were right.
What business would you begin with?
Elves mate attacks 4 guildsmen, and Miriel has her.
Well,
Probably she called the Elves.
I mean, there's plenty of blame to go around on that one.
We may have a bit of a
So that sash on his chest, does that mean that he's mastered all of these different disciplines?
You make it sound like it's a Boy Scout banner.
I mean, it kind of looks like it, just, you know, much, you know, more nicely made. You know, maesters in Game of Thrones have much the same sort of thing.
Drinks all round.
Ooh, that's going to be costly. I'd like to be running the tavern at the bar where those drinks come from. Gonna have a good day.
Really knows how to turn a crowd, doesn't he? He even got the ringleader to turn around.
Well, I don't know about that. We got him to acknowledge him. I think Tolkien had a really good opinion of men. I mean,
Then I have little choice
always
but
refusing
ask
to
for
help
another.
each other.
One with Numenor is
I mean,
true ruler.
He was...
Your father.
Oh, pulling the daddy card.
Yeah.
You should not speak of matters you do not understand, Galadriel's daughter.
And it will not be quelled by you, Regent.
Well, that was predictable.
It's almost like she wanted to go there.
Yeah. I mean, Tolkien was a World War I vet, wasn't he? I think so. And so he probably saw some stuff that soured him on
Mankind?
Yeah.
You gotta keep your head in the game, boy.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Okay, that.
Is that his fault?
Yeah, he pulled it off on purpose.
I didn't see that.
I let it slip.
I mean, he would have had to.
You ease that Hellion proper 100 times. Off the sea god! All 3 of you!
Oh.
What do you gotta bring him in for?
Yeah. What did they do?
The real Numenor.
I'm sorry.
So he wants to get kicked
Be
off.
sorry. You just set our whole
Yeah, he
lives
wanted to
on fire.
defer, but his father wouldn't let him.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
I will speak to my father. Convince him to see that you're both
That
really sick.
definitely showed his dad something.
Tell me something you never earned in the first place.
All right.
Oh, okay.
They seem to be watching you closely.
Who's this guy?
I think he got hurt during the escape attempt. I'm not sure. Do orcs even tend to their wounded? That's a messed up elf.
Yes, they do. They do tend to their wounded.
Was that a prayer? That's a little surprising. This feels familiar.
It's already full. Try and make camp where you can.
Where's this lot from?
Here, back.
That makes it every village from here to a rod ruin.
Surprised they got the word out so well. And the watchtower is bigger than I thought it was.
That is the rest.
We'll have to cut rations again.
Well, that's not a lot of food.
Yeah.
Rations? Who gave you the right?
That wouldn't feed me and you.
Everybody decided to go to this town watering, including you.
Tom, you're not going in there. There might be more food. Come on, this place is deserted.
If any one building has food, it would be the tavern, right?
I'll go.
And assuming that wheelbarrow is completely full, that's still not enough food.
If you had gotten more volunteers, you could have grabbed more food. I mean, how many people do you think are back at the tower?
Hundreds.
I mean, feeding everyone one meal, you couldn't fit on that wheelbarrow.
Home?
Oops. Ah, you jerk. Oh, I didn't even see him there.
Young blood.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where'd you get that? Give it here.
ow. Didn't finish him.
Elves and dwarves working together.
What are they building?
A forge
It is everything you said it would be.
that he needs to make the rings, apparently.
One would almost think it's suspicious.
Are you suggesting Durin's got himself a wee girlfriend?
Yeah.
There is none other than you, milady.
I know. Who'd have him? Haters such as you. Dwarven climbers like my husband could make the descent to Quartz Chasm in just a few hours.
There.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask about, dearie?
Anything else you want her to shut down?
She's a really good liar.
Detected it during a routine gold seaming.
Mithril.
A new ore.
Huh.
Lighter than silk, harder than iron as weaponry, it would best our proudest blades. Keep it.
What?
What?
Token of our friendship.
Now he's got to keep a secret and not let anybody see it.
Right. You guys suck at your jobs. So, is the king sick, or is she keeping him sick?
You brought me here.
A palantir.
Palantir. 7 seeing stones once.
Uber nerd.
The other 6 either lost or
The hell?
So, not just a dream.
it is new. Roy! Where's Theo?
You said he'd be right behind me.
No, he didn't. You left him high and dry. This reminds me of a level in The Last of Us. Sneaking from hiding spot to hiding spot. Oh, he just dipped into the high grass. That's a classic video game move. And don't turn around. That's the grin of death, man. Come on. No. No. Ah.
Ooh. Oh, kid, you are so lucky. So lucky.
They are coming.
Come on, we don't have time for your animosity. So, he gave him everything. Told him to go back to the tower. He gave him his bow
Well,
and...
why are the orcs chasing it?
Nah.
I guess their cell phones aren't getting a signal.
I mean... Oh!
Oh! Did he just catch that?
He caught the arrow.
Hey, no sense wasting him. He caught it too.
Yep. Well, you don't have enough arrows for all of them, so you need to get moving.
Do a Legos thing. You kill one or two or three with one arrow.
What are you doing here? The orcs still have bows, right? So... Oh, good.
I don't stop arrows.
I mean, if I was their leader, I might say suck it up and get after them. Yeah, they're still shooting at you. Go. Is this where they awaken the Balrog? Going as deep as they're going for the Mithril?
Cannot stop thinking that if you'd not gone down there, Durin might have been in that shaft when it...
Yeah, he came out to confront Elrond, didn't he?
I'm sorry I lied to you. Elrond, I was hopeful you might be able to settle something. How is it that you and my husband met?
I told you, I saved him from a hill troll. Two of them.
Yes, I know. I was asking Elrond.
Then I fear I have no choice but to amend your husband's account. There were 3 trolls, and it was I who saved him.
You wouldn't remember your face if you were gazing in a
When
mirror.
I came upon him in the forest, he was in the midst of dodging their mallet blows, wailing, screaming or something.
It was a battle cry.
The screams were so high-pitched, I thought he was tired, so I took up my bow.
It was a sword.
It was a bow.
Ah, it was a sword.
What difference does it make?
Dwarves don't really care for arrows.
Ugh.
I was proud and
I mean, the
stubborn.
one in The Hobbit was pretty
And
handy
I
with
was
a bow.
wrong. Can you not even look at me?
Is he dead? No, no. Okay, he's alive.
He looks close to it though.
Right?
People believe.
That was another problem I had with the Hobbit movies. Was a lot of the dwarves in that trilogy had those poor excuses for beards. I mean, dwarves are supposed to have the most magnificent beards that no human could ever hope to rival.
That your people may live if you forsake all claim to these lands and swear fealty to him.
Yeah,
And if we refuse?
got a problem with that last part.
He's coming for
I mean, if the deal was you forsake these lands and, let me go north, then I'd say, sure. But, yeah, that other part is a problem.
Just like you took that hint
Uh-oh.
from it all. Come off it, lad. You know what I speak.
And why did you have it?
It shall return. Have you heard of him, lad? Have you heard of Sauron?
They'll be gathering soon in the court and in the plaza to hear your announcement.
And we ought not to keep them.
I'm not sure how much they're going to like it.
Would they prefer that she just killed her?
Kept her locked up or whatever.
Uh-oh.
It's not good.
Oh. Might want to bring her back. Yep, wave him down.
Petals of the white tree fall, 'tis no idle thing.
With a message, or...
To aid our mortal brethren, who are now besieged
Okay.
in the Southlands.
Your queen has laid bare her intent.
Didn't she already send her ahead?
Not in 10 days.
Nope. Just called her back.
Will be made up of brave sons and daughters from across fair Numenor.
I will serve.
All right, Samwise.
I will serve.
Duh. Can't tell if he's happy about that or not.
Yep. I say you're going to have your pick. Alright, so Numenor sends aid to the Southlands, where Arendir and Bronwyn are holed up right now. So, is this the beginning of the last alliance of men and elves that we see in the flashback at the beginning of Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds about right, doesn't it?
Yep.
So, good to know. Let's see, what else do we know? Adar sends Arendir with an ultimatum, but I would hope that's ultimately going to be rejected. We see the relationship between Durin and Elrond developing, and he's now going to go back with him to the Forge to see how the progress is going.
Yeah, but the dwarf's going on a spy mission.
Yes. I mean, of course, in a perfect world, you would hope that the races would learn to trust each other, but it's their. I feel like it's their what's the word? Their paranoia towards each other that will ultimately lead to the souring of the friendship. If they just learn to trust each other. But anyways, so we didn't see any of Nori or the Harfoots in this episode.
No,
Yeah.
not a scene.
Nope. The blacksmith mentioned the starfall at the end of the episode, but don't see him. So I assume that the next episode will be pretty heavy on the Harfoots to come. And I think we just about covered everything. So
That's it.
Yep. So some interesting developments. And I'm anxious for a big battle scene. We haven't really seen that in this show so far.
No one said you were ever going to get one.
No, they didn't promise anything. But Lord of the Rings, you would hope for it.
Well,
So
I gotta admit, I need a little bit more action.
Yeah, So
kind of slow.
when Numenor makes their way to the Southlands, I would hope we're in for some battle scenes.
Yeah.
All right, so let us know your thoughts and theories. What do you think is coming for a lot of our characters, especially characters whose fate we don't know about, like Arendir's, for example. So what do you think is coming for them? So let us know. All right, we'll see you guys on the next one. Farewell.
Take care of yourself.